A very good evening. You're watching Prime Time News here on TV1, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ruhal Irfan. Before we move on with our bulletin, here's a look at your headlines.
The second reading of the budget was passed by majority, 121 in favour and 84 against. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa says the country was ruined by a group that worked to the tune of international forces. Former President Gotabaya paved the way for ruin. Cabral spills the beans. Saudi Arabia crushed mighty Argentina.
Saudi Arabia's wiring halt, which will be no remarkable scenes.
Now on to your top story this evening. 2 more men arrested for their alleged link to the sex trafficking ring in Oman were remanded to the 1st of December 2023. The suspects were produced to the Colombo Chief Magistrate Nandan Amarasinghe by the Criminal Investigations Department on Tuesday.
Newsfirst has been repeatedly highlighting the plight of Sri Lankan women who had undergone serious mental and physical trauma in Oman, where they were trafficked and sold as sex slaves. Scores of women who had fallen victim to this trafficking ring are now housed at a safe house operated by the Sri Lankan Embassy in Oman. Following multiple Newsfirst exposes, 2 more men linked to this sex trafficking ring within the past 24 hours, and in total 5 people have been arrested and 4 of them have been remanded. One suspect linked to the sex trafficking ring in Oman was arrested by the CID in Kurunegala, while the other was arrested in Colombo. Police spokesperson attorney SSP Nihal Taldua told Newsfirst that the suspects were operating as agents for foreign employment. The Sri Lankan Foreign Employment Bureau told Newsfirst that operations are underway to arrest unlicensed foreign employment agents operating in Sri Lanka. It added the investigations are underway on multiple complaints relating to bogus foreign employment agents. More details regarding the sex trafficking ring in Oman have surfaced following the Newsfirst revelations. Sri Lankan Foreign Employment Bureau said that so far this year, 25 foreign employment agencies were raided and 69 people were arrested, and on Sunday alone, 4 such traffickers were arrested. The husband of a woman alleged to have been tortured at the Oman safe house was summoned to the SLFEB.
I was summoned for an inquiry, and following the media expose, they spoke for me. One agent was strongly warned to bring my wife back. They asked me to make a payment of 298,000 rupees, and she will be back in 10 days. I will have to place my trust in them. The Foreign Employment Bureau will be accountable.
Sri Lanka's Criminal Investigations Department arrested a woman with links to the sex trafficking ring in Oman after she surrendered to the CID on Monday morning. She was later released on bail.
Sri Lankan women being sold for sex in Oman was a matter discussed in the Sri Lankan Parliament on Tuesday.
The
ministry cannot bear the cost for a person who did not travel overseas for work. We have obtained special cabinet approval to repatriate the women in safe houses. We sent an investigation team with the CID and recorded their statements on who assisted them at the airport and so on. We obtained the details and instituted legal action. At the same time, approval was also obtained for the Foreign Employment Bureau to bear the repatriation cost. With regard to the issue at the embassy in Oman, the name Kushan is mentioned with serious allegations. What actions has been taken on the matter? The media highlighted these crimes. Until then, the minister and those responsible were blind to this. There is another official connected to this. They are repeatedly intimidating the helpless people. One person was arrested. However, no decision has been taken on the people serving in the diplomatic service. These is an ongoing investigation and we have already launched the inquiry. The media gave us more support to take this forward. One person was mentioned by name. He had been interdicted and will be brought to Sri Lanka, where he will be arrested and interrogated.
MP SP Disanayake commented on the police commissioner-in-chief visiting the airport to welcome Basil Rajapaksa.
He is a retired Inspector General of Police. During the period of 2009 to 2015, when Basil Rajapaksa was the Minister of Economic Affairs, I think he worked as his secretary in charge. He must have gone based on that relationship, or maybe he went there for something else and just had a chat with him. The chairman of the police commission went to pick up his child who is returning from America, and Basil also happened to be there. Is it wrong to go and speak to Basil? Let's assume that Sajith Premadasa arrived, and is it wrong to speak to Sajith?
More news will come your way after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
News First. Main sponsor.
25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD.
Anka ege araksita itigini petti. Surya gini petti.
25% for 2 months, 25.5% for 4 months. Valuable FD.
Ivan satutin inne wiring karala. Wiring kirwe is non-polycon yodala.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking and AC wiring, Eslon Polycon cable trunking.
Welcome back to the news. The second reading of the 2023 budget was passed in Parliament on Tuesday by a slim majority of 37 votes. 121 votes in favour, 84 votes against, and MP CV Vigneswaran abstained from voting.
The MPs currently representing the ruling Sri Lanka Podujana Peramana, the MPs who have joined the government from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, the MPs who have joined the government from the SJB, and a few who are sitting in the opposition, along with members of the United National Party, voted in favour of the second reading of the budget. Member of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Duminda Disanayake, who has not joined the government, voted in favour of the budget. MPs Piyankara Jayaratne and John Seriviratne, who are independent from the government and sitting in the opposition, voted in favour of the budget. Jeevan Thondaman and M. Rameswaran, who are currently sitting in the opposition, also voted in favour of the budget. However, 18 MPs were absent, including the 10 MPs representing the Tamil National Alliance. CV Vigneswaran, representing the Tamil Makkal Thesiya Kuttani, abstained from voting, and the two members of the All Ceylon Tamil Congress, Gajendra Kumar Ponnambalam and Selvarasa Gajendran, voted against it. The Samagi Janabalavega led alliance, the National People's Power, the Freedom People's Congress led by Dalas Alha Peruma, and the Uttara Lanka Sabagya led by Vimal Weerawansa voted against the budget.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the country was pushed to chaos by an organized group who were manipulated by international forces.
No matter how deep the crisis is, we should never sell off our national assets. The people know who orchestrated the crisis in the country and fueled it up. Many other things will also be revealed to the people in the future, and I don't have to say about it. Still, these groups, both locally and internationally, are not letting this country to recover from the crisis. The international influences made to our country has also increased. These dark shadows are the ones who pushed our country's economy to a chaos. This has happened twice in our history. They are the ones who destroyed our country's economy. People started protesting for everything without any reasons. The people didn't even understand what they were protesting for.
During the budget speech, the former president said that he doesn't like to sell off profit-making entities. But I know for a fact that he will support this budget proposal in the evening. His actions are contrary to the words he speaks. This economic policy is nothing but how a spoiled kid from a rich family would live his merry life while selling off his family heirloom. Ranil Wickremesinghe should not act as the puppet of the Podujana Perumana. Is this the change we wanted? We need a government that has the people's mandate. What mandate does the Podujana Perumana have? But this budget proposes to sell off our assets. But the mandate the Pohottua got was to reacquire what was sold. My friend Mahinda Nandaludgamage used to say that he cannot sleep until they punish Ranil Wickremesinghe for the bond scam. I don't know whether he is sleeping now. We need a new constitution and we need an efficient public service. Then we need to stop the corruption. Now Ranil Wickremesinghe says that stopping corruption is a dogma and punishing the ones who are involved in these corrupt acts is also a dogma. Instead of saying this, what he really needs to say is that he will punish the ones who are involved in corrupt acts. But can he say that? If he can say that, he needs to go voluntarily to a cell in Balikada and put on a jumpsuit and say that he punished the perpetrators involved in the bond scam. Why did Gotabaya Rajapaksa ask Nimal Siripala to through a diplomatic channel? But when Ranil Wickremesinghe came to power, what he did was he appointed a committee headed by Kusala Sarojini to look into that. When he appointed this committee, I remember that Wickremesinghe said that Nimal Siripala wanted Kusala to head this committee. This committee headed by Kusala decided that there was no such allegation against Nimal.
ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමාගේ නම සඳහන් කිරීම අපේ වැරදි නිසා ඒක
මොකද කුසලා සරෝජිනී වෙන මොකක් හරි සරෝ
ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමා එතුමියගේ නම නෙමෙයි මම නිමල් සිරිපාසිල්ල එතුමාගේ නමයි කරන්නේ
ඒකට මොකද මම කියන්නේ නිමල් සිරිපාල සිල්වා
Then remove Nimal Siripala's name. I recall many named. If Ranil Wickremesinghe was here, I would ask, did he not send Valyamuna, Dilrukshi and Ravi Vaidyalankara to check for $1 billion in a Dubai account? Who did it belong to? Now he says ending fraud and corruption is not possible. He cannot say he will end fraud and corruption when wearing the crown made by the rogues. Every speech by the president speaks of some sutra. Does Sri Lanka have the qualities of the Dhamma preached by Lord Buddha?
During the government of good governance, we sent a team to Dubai led by JC Valyamuna. They returned and did not take action due to the lack of evidence. There's nothing more I can do. They were not under me.
Former Central Bank Governor Ajit Niwad Cabral told Newsfirst's 10 Questions that former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa allowed for the country to fall into ruin.
My opinion is that the president did not act in some places that he needed to. I don't mean to criticize in general. I think there is also an opinion in the country that if the president had done things a little differently, maybe he would have been saved and even the fate of the country would have changed. But nothing as of such happened. Through that, we now see that the country has taken a different path that we did not expect. A person that we did not expect has become the president. So I think the former president simply allowed it to happen.
The former central bank governor also stated that the cabinet was aware of the country's economic situation.
Indirectly, the president also bears the responsibility. We cannot say no. The cabinet also has a responsibility. I am aware that the then finance minister had informed the cabinet about all these things. I saw some people denying that, but I don't believe nor do I accept that.
He further noted that he did not advise the former president to seek support from the IMF.
I didn't ask the president to go to the IMF, but he went ahead. I didn't say no either because it was not my call to make. It's a decision that the president and the cabinet can take. President should take that decision.
We now cross over to a short commercial break. Stay tuned with us.
Ivan satutin inne wiring karala wiring kirwe Eslon polycon yodala.
For your safety and the protection of the wires used in networking and AC wiring, Eslon Polycon cable trunking.
Welcome back to the news. The Orion spacecraft from Artemis 1 mission performed a lunar flyby, which is its closest outbound approach.
On its 6th day into the Artemis 1 mission, Orion successfully completed its 4th orbital trajectory correction burn using the auxiliary engines ahead the first of 2 maneuvers required to enter a distant retrograde orbit around the moon. The first 3 trajectory correction burns provided an opportunity to fire all 3 thruster types on Orion, with the first using the large orbital maneuvering system engine, the second using the small reaction control system thrusters, and the third using the medium-sized auxiliary engines.
Sri Lanka's Central Bank Governor Dr. Lanka Veerasinghe, speaking on independence, noted that CBSL should not be under the authority of the government.
The Federation of IT Industry in Sri Lanka, FITIS, organized Sri Lanka Internet Day 2022. Its purpose was to prioritize the technology and IT sectors of the country so that it can contribute to economic recovery.
Fiscal authority should not intervene in the monetary policy in terms of independence of the central bank. That is why the central bank independence is important. Similarly, authority of public finance is the parliament, including taxes, expenditure, all other social safety and other policies. But when you look at the Sri Lankan history, one of the major imbalances is that there has been no complementary and coordination between fiscal and monetary policies, and mix up the objectives, and someone that's what we call fiscal dominance in the monetary policy, in terms of, for example, if the government is running huge fiscal deficits and government is building up debt to unsustainable levels, because that will have impact on the implementation of the monetary policy. So central bank, although independent, cannot just ignore what is happening in the fiscal policy. It has a direct link.
Saudi Arabia, who have never beaten Argentina until today when they secured a resounding 2-1 win over the number 3 ranked team in the world, Argentina.
Lionel Messi opened the scorecard for Argentina when he converted a penalty in the 10th minute of the game. Argentina almost had it 2-0 in the 27th minute. However, an attacking player was found offside and the goal by Martinez was disallowed. At halftime, Argentina led 1-0. The Saudis came back strong in the second half and equalized with Saleh Al-Shari's goal in the 48th minute. Salem Al-Dawasari then scored in the 53rd minute to take the lead in the game.
To start to the second half for Saudi Arabia.
Denmark and Tunisia produced the first goalless draw of the tournament on Tuesday.
Later today upon the stadium today. Perhaps that they've had some very good results. You ignore this team at your peril. What it takes. World Cup. Again, since he's been at Manchester United, been very prominent. They went from trauma to triumph in the shape of electric. An away game booth, the team led by Fernando Guerrero, also of Mexico.
MTV Network Private Limited is proud to be the official Sri Lankan broadcaster for the FIFA World Cup. Due to the ongoing FIFA World Cup live broadcast, your favorite talk show, Newsline with Faraj Raukatali, will now air at 1 p.m. tomorrow on TV1. You can also follow the program online on our social media platforms. At the same time, Sri Lanka's premier political debate program, Face the Nation, will not air tomorrow also due to the live broadcast of the FIFA World Cup. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Razir Khan. Thank you for watching and good night.